Welcome back to Radio Chatskill. I'm Tim Bruno. The Yarra is a boutique inn in Roscoe, New York, just minutes from the Beaverkill and Willowemoc rivers. Built in 1890 by the Baxter family, the inn has recently been renovated by owners Sonya and Paul, and the inn's name is a nod to the Yarra River in Melbourne, Australia. And their menu reflects the diverse and multicultural food scene of Melbourne, offering a unique blend of cuisines. To find out more, Erin Shearer went eating upstate.
I think I would just sort of say a little bit about the vibe of the Yarra. You know, we really are very small, and we really aim to create an environment that's pretty intimate and special for people when they come and stay or dine with us. And that's something that's really important to me is not to have like this, you know, size is not everything. And to have a small place that, you know, like I do the cooking. We don't have a lot of staff, so it's pretty like hands-on on that front.
That's Sonya Wurster describing her hotel and restaurant, the Yarra in Roscoe. The Yarra focuses on the eclectic flavors of Sonya's native Melbourne, Australia, and it's the subject of today's Eating Upstate. Sonya Wurster was born in Melbourne, Australia, and spent part of her childhood in Michigan. After her freshman year of high school, she returned to Melbourne and eventually earned a PhD in classics at the University of Melbourne. She subsequently taught Latin there and later in Singapore, and in 2018, she came to the United States with the hopes of continuing her career. However, she had a difficult time finding work and eventually decided to leave academia. Despite her limited experience in hospitality, she decided to pursue her dream of opening a boutique hotel and restaurant.
Whilst I was doing my PhD, like a lot of people, I fantasized about other things, doing something else. And I had often thought about my experiences of staying at very small hotels in my travels. And I was like, you know, I really like hosting. I love cooking. And I think that would be something I'd like to do at some point in my life. And when I decided that academia was not going to be my pathway, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start looking now. So originally it was something I'd planned to do when I was like a bit older. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it now. Why not? And so I started looking for places to buy, and I saw what was then the Baxter House. And I just liked the building. And we came up, my husband and I came up and had a look at it. And it was like January. So it's not like the best time of year to come upstate. But I was like, you know, I love the building, and Roscoe, I liked the area. And it was, you know, I thought this is such a beautiful spot. And so I decided just to do it.
Sonya and her husband first came across the property of what became the Yarra in January of 2021. After purchasing the property, they opened the Yarra the following November. The Yarra's focus as a restaurant is focused on cuisine one might find in Sonya's native Melbourne.
You know, it's not really a particular, like I don't just do a particular type of cuisine, which is very influenced by my experience of living in Melbourne, which is pretty varied in terms of what you eat and what you can access. And so, you know, sometimes it will seem more like Italian influence, but other times I'll have like, you know, a Thai curry on there, or I will do, some Southeast Asian influence food, which is something I really miss from Melbourne, the Southeast Asian food. So it will vary quite a lot depending on season, what I feel like cooking at the time. And yeah.
The Yarra offers a prix-fixe or 5-course menu. Those who are interested in dining at the Yarra must make reservations through their website, yarrany.com.
No, we've gone back to reservation only with, you know, a real focus on, the core of the Yarra, which is accommodation, food and wine, and kind of making sure that guests have access to food when they're staying. And so we do the supper clubs because they're kind of more of a, you know, you have to sign up and pay ahead kind of thing for the supper clubs. But we have a lounge menu too. And that focus for that is really like if someone's checking in on a Tuesday night, that they actually have something to eat.
On Wednesdays, Sonya drives to the Delhi Farmers Market and purchases from the likes of Walton's Rock Royal Farm or whoever is selling at the farmers market that day.
So I've been going to the Delhi Farmers Market because it's a Wednesday. So like this weekend, for example, with the supper club menu that I'm doing, the duck is from a farm called Rock Royal. And so it really, for me right now, it's the Delhi Farmers Market, and who is there, then that's who I source from as much as possible.
This past summer, Sonya closed down the Yarra to renovate the kitchen and resume service in October. This coming December 23rd, the Yarra is offering a special Christmas dinner with an Australian twist. They also have other plans for the winter.
So we are doing a special Saturday supper club, actually the Saturday on December 23. So it'll be Christmassy themed, maybe Australian Christmas themed, which is very seafood based. So, because obviously in Australia it's summer when it's Christmas. So you don't always want to have like a heavy roast when it might be 100 degrees. But if people are interested, they can always check out our website. Like there's a lot of details there. And like, I think this winter I want to do a few more things that are like, I'll do a wine dinner again. I sometimes do these where I have an Australian wine importer that I work with, and he comes and we sort of do something with wine and food.
The Yarra is located at 2012 Old Route 17 in Roscoe. I'm Erin Shear. Eating Upstate is a production of WJFF, Radio Catskill.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, whiskey and country music in Berryville. Sign me up. We'll have more after a break. This is Radio Chatskill.